So we've spoken about this house before at 33rd and O when it was Jay Gould's granddaughter's house. But I want to go back a little bit before when it was Thomas E. Waggaman's, and in particular, this little annex attached to the side. So Thomas E. Waggaman was this huge real estate developer. After the Civil War, he developed big tracts in Northwest Washington. He was well known across the country as one of the richest men in Washington and had married into old Washington and old New York political families. He was a very established guy. He was also a major philanthropist, and he just cratered. So Thomas E. Waggaman was also a great art collector. And in 1888, he built this annex on the side of his building and filled it full of thousands of Dutch masters, important Japanese works. He looked in all the guidebooks. It would say this was the place to come. So the Corcoran existed, but this was really the #2 art destination in Washington, D.C. at the time. And then, of course, when everything went to hell in a handbasket, it all had to be sold off. And in 1905, there was this 5-day auction in New York. And poor Thomas Waggaman, he kind of died the next year, retired to a house that he had out in the Maryland countryside, and that was that. Today, the arts are flourishing in Georgetown, and a perfect example is here at the Addison Ripley Gallery. I picked this one because Chris Addison and the Addison name goes all the way back and flows all the way through Georgetown. A 9-term mayor, the first rector of St. John's. Addison has been a part of Georgetown all along. Chris?
Jamie?
So give us a little rundown.
So we've been around for 45 years. Our feeling was that this was the introductory corner to Georgetown. This is what you see if you're driving from the north to the south down to the river. And it's a really beautiful view. Being a kid here and loving growing up here and being an adult and running a business seemed to have symbiotic relationship. My enthusiasm stems from having had my wasted childhood spent here, and being a businessman here meant that I could give something back. You were talking about seeing things in the window that change constantly. We felt that that's a service that we do for the neighborhood and anybody visiting. We don't expect people to come in and buy everything on the walls, but we hope that they'll enjoy some of the things we've seen here.
What kind of art would you say you normally have here?
The glib answer that my wife and I used to say was art that we liked. But the thing that drove us, that kept us around, was this commitment to the artists. Whether they were from Washington or from elsewhere, we really represented them as peers and friends.
And that was that. Thank you very much.